Welcome to the Second Briefing Podcast with Scott and Tom. We're recording from the Gunslinger Clubhouse in beautiful downtown Hillsboro.
Hey everybody, I'm Scott, and I spent 23 years on patrol at a local sheriff's office.
Hey, and I'm Tom. I spent 26 years at that same sheriff's office working with Scott.
In this podcast, we're going to be speaking with former and retired police officers about their life after police work and how they've been dealing with civilian life.
Hey, and maybe we'll have a little fun along the way. Boom, hashtag.
Okay, everybody, let's get to the podcast. Hey everybody, we have our first sponsor of the Second Briefing Podcast. Tall Fur Coffee was started by a retired police officer. Tall Fur roasts and packages their own coffee and has several blends such as Guatemalan and Sumatran. There is even cold brew if you prefer. It gets Tom and I ready for our day. I was not a coffee stop before, but now I am, and Tall Fur is the best.
Right now, you go to tallfurcoffee.com and enter the code Second Briefing for 15% off your order. That's the number 2 with an ND briefing for 15% off your order. Thanks for Tall Fur Coffee for all your support.
Order yours today and support first responders.
Let's get our shit going.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Second Briefing Podcast. We are filming from
The Gunslinger Clubhouse. I guess we're on.
Bam.
You told me. Boom.
Tom's Ready. Hashtag
Tom's ready.
ready.
Hashtag I'm ready. Tommy Buckmaster.
Well, hey, we are ready to
Boom.
do our Gerba top 5 today.
Oh, Gerba. Hashtag kill Gerba.
This is the top 5 things old man Gerba will say when he is retired. Number 5, I don't have a bucket list. I have a fuck it list. It's much more achievable.
Number 4, at my age, getting lucky means finding my boat in the marina.
And number 3, even Terminators get old.
And number 2, at my age, happy hour is taking a nap.
And the number 1 thing Gerba will say when he's retired is, I still don't work out. I've got a boat.
Hashtag kill Gerba.
Killing Gerba.
Boom.
Yeah.
Love ya, Gerba.
Good job, Gerbs.
Thanks for the text today.
So today we have our good friend Jason. Welcome,
Howdy.
Jason.
Jason.
Golf clap.
Woo. Rock and roller.
No, fun fact about Gerba is I went to college with Gerba and knew him long before we were cops.
Oh, really?
Yep.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yep.
Love you, Gerbs.
How'd he do in college?
He sat in the back of the class with us, but he always had
Yes,
that
he
same
did.
look. Yeah, the face of
Scowl?
Gerba. Yeah.
Well-
the same look, that one look.
I was talking to him today about that, and I said, "Hey, the faces of Gerba is too small. We're just going to get a big face.
Need a poster of
you,
Gerba.
A poster of Gerba, and then we can say, how is Gerba feeling today? And then we can point at the thing and say, well, Gerba's happy today.
You need right
And it's the
underneath
same
that tall
piece.
fur coffee right there.
Yeah, right here.
Right there.
Gerba's happy. Gerba's sad.
Yeah, that's
so
good.
We're going to do that. He's going to work on getting me a
And he's
poster.
Yeah.
like hasn't aged at all. He's had that same look for
Yeah.
20 some
Yeah.
years.
Yeah, it's a good
He
look.
still looks like he's 10.
Yeah, it's
Right?
crazy.
Well, that's what we tell him. 10-year-old Gerba.
Yeah. Well, welcome.
Yeah, yeah.
coming
So
in.
Thanks
tell
for
us.
having me here.
You're retired, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
He's just
You retired a
retired.
couple,
Not even a month ago.
not even a month
Yeah.
ago.
Yeah,
How's it
it's kinda
feel?
Weird. It's kind of weird,
Yeah,
but
Well,
it's
you
good.
sold everything and
I did.
yeah.
Sold
living
everything.
in a fifth wheel,
Yep, I live in a van down by
living
the
the
river.
dream,
Oh my
Yeah.
living in
God.
a van down
You
by the
next-
river.
next
You
to
are living
Chris?
down by the river too, aren't
I
you?
am living by the
Are you a
river.
motivational speaker now too?
Yeah.
It depends on who needs to be motivated, right?
Right?
Oh my gosh.
She's doing the old, what's that fat
The
guy's
Farley?
name? Farley.
Farley.
Yeah.
That
So-
fat guy. Sorry, rest in peace. I don't mean
all my
fat
shit's
guy.
in a storage unit, and
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out how to repair. I got to fix something every day. We don't even move, and I have to fix something every day. So
Really?
it's crazy. Yeah.
Well,
Oh.
there you go.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
So
That
we'll get
sucks.
to that soon. That's
Yeah.
part of the stuff we
Soon.
want to talk to you about. But tell us, you were in law enforcement for how long?
I count my reserve time because I was one of those reserves that came out all the freaking time. I did like
You
100
should
hours
count
a
your
month.
reserve time. That's a lot of work.
I did that
Um,
too because I didn't
yeah.
have a job.
So yeah, and I had my life in such a way that I could.
You
come
still don't
out
have a job.
and
What?
could come out and do all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
So 26 years.
This is my job.
26 years.
Thank you.
Long time.
Yep.
Awesome.
Thank you.
So you worked at different departments too, right?
Yeah.
So if you want to name them, you certainly can.
Well, I was a reserve in a small agency in Clackamas that was not it was a no call too small kind of place.
Oh,
So
That's
lots
like-
of
That was
Oh,
our
there's
that was
a
our
struggle.
motto at our place
That's right.
too.
Yeah.
There's a squirrel in the road. Can
I
you
left
move
my-
that?
no call too
I left
small.
my shed unlocked. Can you go lock it? I had to take that
Exactly.
call.
Yep. And then
And we were a big department.
I didn't realize it was over in Clackamas.
Yeah,
Okay.
I
All
got
right.
hired as a 911 dispatcher.
That's right.
While I was still a reserve over there, and I realized, and that was an agency in Washington County, and then I realized these
the
guys are
911.
fun. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I was like, this is fun. These
Uh-huh.
guys are kicking ass and taking names. I said, I'm going to come out here. So I
Okay.
ended up coming out here and getting hired with that.
I never knew you were a
So you-
dispatcher till your retirement.
Yeah.
You
Party.
you worked at the agency where you were a dispatcher also.
yeah.
Okay.
They had somebody wash out of FTEP, and the chief basically came in and said, "You want a job? Like, take your
Nice.
psych, take your
Nice.
psych on Thursday," and they'd already done my background.
Yes,
and then
sir.
Monday they were like, "Hey, want a
Nice.
job?"
Here's
So,
your uniform.
pretty much. So
Yeah.
that kind of worked out good. And
What
then
year was
long
that?
that was 2001.
Sorry, I cut you
All
off.
right. It's okay, Tom.
It's okay.
I still like you.
You guys are friends, right?
I
Yeah,
think
we're
so.
great
Yeah,
friends.
we're best friends.
We're besties.
That was in 01. And then I stayed there till about
That was fun.
2010, and I decided I was going to go next door.
Yeah.
So I went to the agency next door, and then
Okay. Yeah. Right next door.
right next door.
Yeah.
And then
Could walk there.
we got eaten up by the sheriff's office, and that's how I
Oh,
met you guys.
Chomp
So,
chomp.
Yeah.
What year was that?
That was in 2010.
Gosh.
That's
it
when
seems
shit
like-
hit
No,
the
no.
fan.
2000. That was in 2014.
So I lost
Okay.
some seniority there.
Yep.
Sons
yeah.
of bitches.
I kept. There was one guy, Doug S.
Yes.
And he and I were hired literally the same day, the same year at our respective agencies.
I think
Well,
I lost 3
the
spots.
one that you were
yeah.
at with. And so then I beat him only because I was at county first.
Wow.
Yeah, so I
That's
was up ahead of
interesting.
him by one.
Yeah.
But I'm gone now. He's got it. But he's in a cush gig though.
Yeah. He's got a pretty sweet
Yeah,
spot. He's really
he
good
does.
at it. So
He's
yeah.
doing good. So while you were at your first 2 agencies, kind of a shorter stints at each one, well, see, the first one you were at there, how long were you at the first one?
Almost 10 years. It was like 9 and change.
Okay, and then you went over to the one that
Yeah.
joined county.
Yes.
How long were you there?
Like almost 4.
Did you do any special teams or extracurricular?
Too small.
Too small for both of them.
I got really good at doing impaired driving stuff. So that's
Right.
kinda, I
You
focused
work
a
in
lot on
graveyard
that.
a
That's
lot
Dewey
for
stuff for
others.
you layman's out there.
Yeah.
Layman's
Driving under the influence.
of intoxicants.
There's a
Gosh.
lot of drunks, a lot of people that shouldn't be driving.
Some people like to drink, not me.
And then
You were at county for, well, that would have been, so you had 3 and 10, 13. So you had what, another 13 or 14 at the county ish? Is that right?
10.
10.
Yeah. I think it was
Close.
Yeah, something like
Maybe
that.
I'm going high.
So you count your, because you got absorbed in this state. Your PERS automatically counts, and there's certain things that come over.
Right.
So as far as the county's concerned, I was working for the county since 2010.
Okay.
Even though we
gotcha.
came over in 2014.
Was your old
Oh,
department
gotcha.
before we took you over? Was that PERS also?
That was PERS.
Was
Yeah.
all 3 of them PERS? I
No.
mean the one before that too.
No, the first one wasn't, which kind of effed
Oh.
me because
You weren't there very long enough.
No, they had their own retirement
They had
system.
their own retirement, but did you
Oh, I
get
didn't know
vested in
that.
that though?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay, that's
Oh yeah.
cool.
I was so pissed when I left that place that I
Does-
just took my money and said, "Fuck you."
Are they
And I was
PERS
like-
now?
I think they're
Yeah,
PERS.
I think they're PERS.
Okay.
now.
They must have switched over because they're still running around.
Well, everybody's pretty much
Yeah.
PERS now.
I
Even
mean,
like
even
even like
Portland.
Portland's PERS
Yeah.
because they weren't PERS until like 5-7 years ago, I think,
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds right.
something like that.
So you came over to the county and you were already kind of involved in the DUI stuff.
Yeah, I was super lucky. When I came over to the county, I went right on special teams, Dewey Car. I did that for 3.5 years.
Because you
And
already
then
had that experience.
Yeah, and then I did drug court, treatment court. I did that for
Tell us
5.5
a little bit about
years.
that. What is that?
So treatment courts, you basically are on a multidisciplinary team with, a prosecutor, defense attorney. There's a specific judge, a PO you work with, and all those people are in a very intense post prison, or not post prison, a very intense probation program. This is their last chance. Like if they screw up, they go to prison.
Mhm.
So you try and get them there.
Now, is the
help get their shit
victims
together.
the victims panel? Is that part of this, or is that part of their
It's
probation?
something totally
It's
different.
totally different. Okay,
Yeah.
never
Can I
mind.
ask a question real quick? I don't want to interrupt you, Scott.
Nope, do it.
Is it so? Is this like it's like third strike kind of thing, and then this like their last
Yeah.
chance?
Yeah,
like they've been
this is
arrested
like-
for this like 3-4 times, or how's that?
Yeah, they're all convicted felons. They're like, this is their last chance. They're usually on a downward departure, meaning that if they screw this up,
Screw
they're
this
going
one
to
up, they're
prison.
done.
Yeah, and then towards the end, we were actually taking people who were actually going to get revoked off probation, and we're like, hey, you need more intense supervision. Because what that program entailed is they got to check in with the judge every week. The PO drops in, the deputy drops in. So I would go visit them at work, go visit them at home, see them waiting for the bus. Like, hey, what's going on? How are you?
So pretty strict.
Because
Yeah.
you got to be essentially like what we used to call a wild card. You got your own number, and you just basically did that all day,
Yeah.
right? Most time.
Yeah, it was
Help
nice.
when you needed, if you had to,
'cause
right?
I would go
Because-
shag calls, and I'd be like, "Oh, no paper, see ya." Off I go,
Yeah, because you were still still on patrol in a
Captain
car in a
Cover.
uniform.
Yep.
Yeah,
Captain Cover.
that's
Yeah.
always nice.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. One time I had my PO with me. It's funny because I used to tell people like when I was in high school, they all thought I'd have a PO, and they just didn't think it would be like that.
Hey, me
Oh,
too.
sure.
Riding in the
Like
car.
one assigned to you,
Yeah,
like, hey,
so-
did you
so-
check in today?
And I would always
I've
say
had a
my-
lot in common with most of our guests so far.
My,
Oh my God.
my phone to ring, and I tell people, "Oh, it's my PO. I got to go." And
Yeah.
Especially if they didn't know
Right.
what I did for work, they'd be like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
So anyway, we left one of the clean and sober houses, and I was listening on the radio, and Kelly, my PO, she's listening to the same radio channel, and I hear this hit and run. It's happening. It's like 4 blocks from us, and I'm
Right.
just listening. She's not paying attention. And all of a sudden, we turn the corner, and this car comes to a screeching halt in front of us. No front tire, smoking. Somebody gets out, and they're going to get out and run. So I freaking deal with it. It's right in front of me.
Wow.
Detain the guy, or actually it was a gal. Detain her, sit her on the front of my car. Beaverton comes around the corner. We switch out my cuffs, and I go, "Thanks, see ya." Drove away.
The cool, fun stuff without having to do
Yeah.
any of
Yeah.
the boring
No paper.
And
Yeah, no
Yeah.
paper at all. It was awesome.
That's like
So-
working for Portland.
Yeah, lots of cool.
sorry, I just
Cool
got in a
stuff
fight
like
with my
that.
microphone.
Yeah, you did. Holy shit.
But
Almost
so
spilled my coffee. Easy, Captain
very
America.
exciting. But so you do that, and then you're running around all day just checking on these people, essentially, right?
Yeah, I did a lot of stuff. Checked in on people. I did a lot of community stuff where I'm trying to find felon-friendly employers. I'm listening to jail calls. If some of the people are talking to people,
So you'd
that
help
shouldn't
people get
be,
jobs too.
backgrounds, helping people get jobs. Like just basically whatever didn't fit into its specific. Like this gets
Right.
handled by the PO. I would do all that stuff.
Well, and I talk to you occasionally in the locker room about this. Once in a while, we would chat about what you do, and I guess I never really, I knew you were doing a lot of work, but I never really grasped it until you talked to me about they were going to turn it over to the other division,
Yeah.
the corrections division, and you're just like, I don't know, it's probably a lot of work just for one guy on patrol, let alone
Oh yeah.
somebody in the jail too, because it's just a lot of work.
Yeah, and there's a whole admin side to that the deputy in that position had been doing for years, and so
Right.
one of the things is I knew it was going to jail. I was like, well, I'm going to find an admin person to offload all that crap. So when it
'Cause-
went over to the jail, like half
Yeah.
the work got cut in half because I found another person who can do that admin
Oh, just
stuff.
the
So,
paperwork, processing, emails.
yeah,
that
because the
kinda
guy
stuff.
that's doing it now on the jail side, he's doing EHD and other stuff, pre-trial.
Right.
Like it's impossible because there was a period of time right around COVID where they were super short staffed in the jail. So
Sure.
they basically came to me and they said, "Hey, you do home visits? Guess what? You have EHD. Here's 3 days of training, and now you do EHD." So I had
Oh,
both.
geez. So
I
you got
had
to do
both.
both.
That's
yeah.
in-home
No
detection.
training.
Ankle monitors for you layman's
Yeah.
again.
So I was running both those programs, and I had no idea how to do EHD. I was like,
I like to
"This
cut
is
those off, by the way.
crazy." So
Yeah.
Why they make
No,
those?
and I
out of-
was- I
why'd they
would-
make those a little easier so they can't cut them off like metal?
No.
it chafing?
no. You got to have some sort of
A little
suspense.
chafing.
Chafing.
Maybe get a rash or something like that. That's why they're not
Wow.
made out of metal. People are allergic to.
Do they hand you a
They,
salve
or they
when
could
you
make them nice, like little bark collar.
Yeah, bark
or
collar,
something.
maybe. Give 'em some-
studded
I like
collar.
Scott's idea. Give them a little salve.
Yeah, then they could
Yeah.
just rub that on here. Here's your
bag bomb.
Yeah. Here's
That's awesome.
Some bag bomb.
some Eye of the Tiger. But no, I was really impressed
Yucky.
too because
Sorry.
I didn't realize
tension
how
breaker.
much. It's okay, man. I
I know,
understand.
sorry.
There's a
I like to
squirrel, a
laugh.
squirrel just ran across in front of the tall fur coffee there that I
sorry.
noticed.
get a
Yeah.
little.
See, I got the little
Scatterbrained.
plug in
I
there.
like that.
See that possum?
Nobody saw it, Tom.
Kill it.
Oh, there it
It's
is.
not a
Oh,
pet.
geez.
If you see a possum, it's not a pet.
No, it's
I
not.
see them
Yeah, don't keep
here.
it. Yeah, well, it's watching you. Be careful. But you, I was really impressed at your retirement ceremony at the office where you got the shadow box and the cake and all that stuff. How many different people spoke about what you did? And I was really impressive
Yeah.
because you do a lot of work, but you didn't realize how many things because it's a lot of these people that are hooked on drugs. You're trying to actually help them. Whereas, unfortunately, in law enforcement, we do a lot of the Band-Aid. You take them to jail.
Yeah.
You hope they get in a program. You were actually
We're not really helping
implementing
anybody.
A lot of that. Not.
Yeah,
I mean,
I watched a grip of people come out of on the other side. There's probably
Yeah.
I'd say at least a half dozen that I'm still friends with. I have their
Yeah.
phone number. I'm in their support circle. Like they can call me anytime. There's one guy in particular.
That's awesome.
Every time he has a major life decision, he calls me and he's like, "Hey, I'm
Yeah.
thinking about
That's
doing
crazy.
this. Like, what do you think?" And we talk about stuff. And yeah, that
That's-
program is
that's great.
amazing.
It's
need
pretty
more of
cool,
that.
yeah.
We need more of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
because
I can't think of one person I've helped.
yeah.
That I could,
Well,
you know what I mean? That I could go
I
back
mean-
and say, I probably have, but you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I can't say that's John
But you
Smith.
have
I helped that
concrete-
dude.
Yep.
He's doing better now.
Yeah.
I can't think of one person.
Jason's got some good concrete. Yeah. This
Yeah,
is
he
some
knows them,
people
and
I
they
know.
still, and you still talk to them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's
I mean, that's cool.
fantastic.
They're like two of them have moved out of state, and when I do my little traveling thing, like I'm gonna go find them. We're gonna
Yeah.
hang out.
Good.
We won't be drinking beers, but
Yeah.
we'll
Yeah.
be
We don't want
hanging
them to do that because they're supposed to be sober, right?
Might be smoking
Essentially.
marijuana with them.
out.
Maybe not. I'm just
Probably
kidding.
not.
Kidding.
Gummy.
Cocaine again.
Gummies.
Gummy. Yeah.
Cocaina.
So I did that, and I was collateral in that until all the way up to the end of my career, and then
Right.
I had to go back to the road. So that was there was
Yeah.
another
Well, you gotta be
special
on
team I was
day
trying to
shift.
do. That I
Oh,
was
that's
super
right,
qualified
yeah.
for, and I
Mhm.
was probably overqualified. I
What
was
was
trying
that?
to I was trying to Cookson out my career and just be special team the whole time.
We got
Cooks and
to
out.
Truck inspector.
cooks and out. That's our
Yeah.
new phrase. Cooks and
Cooks
out.
and
Cookson
out.
which
Yeah.
is
So
Another
what
shout
was
out
it? So
to Drew. Cooks and out.
Motor carrier officer, right? That
Yeah.
you're talking about? So
trucker
what?
fucker.
Was that level one?
Can I say that?
You can
Well, I
be
just
level-
You can
did,
say
so look at that.
No, it's not
Level
getting,
one,
it's
right?
not getting
I did.
bleeped that we
Yeah.
know of.
I was level 2.
I actually went through truck school 3 different times.
Good
Not
golly.
through any there's stories about why I did that, but anyway, the last one
Oh.
was I was pretty sure I was pretty confident I would get that truck gig because my whole career is all traffic safety, and I'm
Right.
like, oh, this is perfect, right? So I go back, I get level 1, and then somebody else got it, and I was super
Yeah.
pissed. But
This
yeah,
is like me
whatever.
in the wind, going to win.
Yeah.
Oh,
The-
man.
the-
I've been to every drug training you could get to. Sorry, you don't get it.
My wife kind of put it in
back
perspective.
to you.
She said, I don't think I'd have been ready to go retire when I did if I didn't go back to the road because I got to do stuff that I hadn't done in a long time that I forgot
Right.
how to do. And probably that last 2 weeks I worked, I had a bunch of calls where I literally was helping people like make a major impact in their life. Like you were talking about, I don't remember this, that, but
Yeah.
there was a
That's
whole
awesome, though.
bunch, and I don't know if that was, fate or whatever you want to call it, but
Right.
it was nice to be able to do that and go and walk away and go, I'm good, man. That's what it's all about. And
Yeah.
I got no regrets.
Good for
That's
you.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
really great, man. 'Cause
Yeah,
you-
I'm kind of jealous. I don't have any of that
Yeah.
shit like that in my career that I
Yeah.
know of.
yeah.
Right.
Well,
You probably wrote,
Maybe.
you probably help somebody. You just don't. You lose track of things. You deal with
Yeah.
the subject. You're putting a Band-Aid on it that night or that day. Sometimes you run into people occasionally over and over again, but chances are, especially if we're working different districts all the time,
yeah.
Yeah.
whereas you could go anywhere.
So I had a gal when I was working in Frosty Grave,
Oh,
over out
I-
west. Frosty
that's
Grave.
funny because I have a friend that doesn't work in police and he calls it that.
Yes. And I had this gal that was house sitting, and she had stolen a credit card, and she'd been at house sitting for like, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks at this house.
Yeah.
So the homeowner comes back and they're like, hey, I got all these charges on my card. I don't, I think I know who did
So
it.
she
I had
stole
this
the credit
gal-
card from the house she was sitting at.
Yeah, because it came in the mail. So this
Oh.
is old school. This
Oh,
is
that
like
makes-
2004, 2005,
And
right?
it was, and she knew the person she was house sitting with.
Yeah.
She stole his.
It's Frosty
fr-
Grave, man, right? Okay. So
That's so awesome of them.
So I managed to pull
Great
some
friends.
video. She does maybe, I don't know, let's say 20-ish fraudulent things on the credit card. I find video the first one, and
yeah.
I find video the last one. And so I know it's her. I have video. And again, this is, 20 years ago, and not everybody had video, and it wasn't always great.
Yeah.
So I find her and I say, hey, look, I got video. I know you were watching the house. I got the solid case. Today's the day. You be honest with me. You tell me everything you did. We
Yeah.
make one trip to jail today. I charge you for everything. We call it good. She's like, well, I only did this one. I only did the last one. I don't know who did the rest. I said, okay, well, I'm just telling you, if I'm going to find out, and if I do, I'm going to come and arrest you every single time. So lo and behold, I hook her. I take
Yeah.
her to jail, charge her for the first one, the last one. I find one. I find her at work. I arrest her at work. Another time I found her at her kid's softball game. I freaking arrested her.
Because you got
at a
another
softball game.
case that
Yeah.
you were able to prove.
And
Okay.
I think I ended up getting video for like 6 more of them. She freaking hated me.
Oh,
She
Oh, well,
freaking
yeah.
hated me.
What did you expect her to
And
love
I
you?
kind of went out of my way. I'm
I
like,
told you.
I'm like, and it
Uh,
was. It was
I
one
was
of those,
giving
like,
you a
I'm trying to
chance.
be cool
Yeah.
with you, right?
Yeah.
So
I
anyway,
won't
cut to
give
the
you a
chase.
chance.
I end up going and working for that other agency next door. I get this call, DUI, call it following, and
Yeah.
I stop the car and I make contact with the caller because it wasn't a DUI, but I always thank the caller. Like, hey, thanks for calling in. It's her. She's in the passenger seat. And she tells me, she goes, I freaking hated you so much that I decided to get my shit together, my life together. I met this guy. We're clean and sober. Blah blah blah. You changed my life by being an asshole.
Well,
So I was
wow, look at that.
so it
That's
can't
There's
crazy.
another one. Look
Done
at
that to
you.
somebody else, right?
Yeah, I would have gave up on the first. Okay, I would have. The other ones I
Yeah.
can't find.
You're
Video.
very
I was
persistent.
tenacious, yeah.
Yeah.
So I got that reputation of being like Mosier's fair, but like if you
He'll keep going.
he'll
Yeah.
Keep digging.
and digging.
He'll-
and
He's
digging.
got all the skill
He
and
will
all
find
the
you.
will.
Yeah. Until
What
I
is it?
went
It's
until
like-
I went to day shift, and then I was like,
Oh yeah,
I
the
like that
skill and the
motto.
will. It came
I'm
to.
like,
Well, you're like Liam Neeson in Taken. I've got a particular set of skills.
Exactly
I
right.
will find
Yes.
you and I will arrest you.
yeah.
You don't have to kill him in this case
No,
because
no.
you know it wasn't. Yeah,
So it was
I
like,
could. I will find you, and I could arrest you, but I probably will not.
yeah. Give you a ticket.
I'll just give you a cite and lieu because I don't want to go to jail.
So,
next time.
what other? So you did the Dewey stuff for a while, and you taught too, right?
yeah, I taught. I got to that level of instruction where like they have conferences and they would call and they go, "Hey, we're having this particular conference. We want you to present. We want you to teach." So I got in
Right.
a little circle of the DUI mafia in
Yeah.
Oregon.
Oh,
so
there's a
that's
few of
pretty
those.
cool.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
have quite a few Dewey guys at our agency that
Yeah.
over the years.
So I got
Dewey
to
Kings, you know,
Yeah.
we still do,
teach,
right?
Oh yeah,
teach at the academy. There was
Mhm.
a period of time from like 2015 to 2017. I think I taught like 20 or 30 basic police classes. So everybody that
oh
went
down
through,
at the state.
yeah, everybody that went through the state academy probably got their Dewey class from me, which is cool because then I'm also was a drug recognition expert. So and I would put on DRE schools or be
That's even
involved
more
in that.
training.
Yeah. I would get these guys coming through going, "Oh, you taught me basic DUI class."
You
I was
taught me
like,
a few
Yeah.
classes too. I
Yeah.
wasn't paying
Oh, I'm
attention, but
sure,
you taught
yeah.
me a lot of classes.
Yeah, you did great.
Really?
I don't remember what
Research,
you said.
a lot of research
you
A lot of
listened.
classes.
research, yeah.
You
lot
looked
of
like you knew what you were
research.
talking
That's
about
okay.
as
My
I was
talk
speaking.
class was expired.
That's right.
Expired.
You
My
were one of
card
those
expired.
hostages.
Fuck, I gotta come
So
back
we
into
go-
I
class.
was one of Jason's hostages.
I'm not gonna
yeah.
take. I'm not gonna arrest a Dewey. Come on, I'll get a younger guy to come do it.
That's funny.
Yeah, I'm a day shifter. What are you talking
Yes, come on.
That's right. Well, and then when I was
No.
on day shift,
Yeah, you got
I-
Dewey's
I-
because
You
get the
take them
ones-
all. I'll take the
I
crash. You
Dewey's.
take the Dewey,
Yeah,
right?
we're like,
I like
hey,
that.
Jason,
Yeah, I did too. I love
Jason,
that.
Can you
Right.
come take this, please?
Yeah, I love that part.
That was the best.
Let's see what else I did. So I did all that, all that
Mhm.
DRE stuff. Put on a couple of DRE schools.
Nice.
Yeah.
Careful with the tapping.
Oh, don't tap.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
mics will pick that shit right up.
I was a reserve
Mark Luca.
coordinator.
Yes, you were.
Um,
Yeah.
We were. I think you were reserve coordinator right when I came on.
Yes, it was. We barely crossed paths in that. Yeah, I did. I had done it for I don't know 8 or 9 years, and
Yeah.
it was time for me to move and do something different.
Did you
But yeah.
enjoy that?
Oh yeah,
Oh, it's
I
fun.
love that.
A lot of
The
fun.
reserve programs.
Is that because you were reserved before? You remembered what it was like, or
Yeah, and our reserves were all our guys they're like they don't want to get hired full time. They're like
Like
Yeah,
say,
isn't that
probably
they're there
weird?
forever.
a lot of them.
Yeah.
There's some that you could tell that okay, I'm gonna. And there
Yeah.
was quite a few that did get hired,
We did for a while.
but then they just you had the ones that were there forever.
And
I can
thought it was
name off a
pretty
ton
cool.
of them, but
I was
yeah.
one had a lower DPSST number than I did, and I was like,
Well,
that's pretty
your
impressive.
your band groupie Martin.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, he's been a reserve for a long time.
Yeah.
And I did help with some of his training. I think when he was first there, because he's probably 10 to 13 years as a reserve. I think
Oh yeah, he's
maybe
squared
longer.
away,
He
too.
told me, but
Yeah.
of course, my memory is anyway.
What else did I do? We had body cam. We used to not have body cameras. I was involved a lot in the body camera stuff.
thank you for that.
Both the Axon and
Oh,
the
so
utility,
great.
and then this last time they didn't ask me back, probably because they knew I was punching out. But that's pretty much it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And then now you've been doing some stuff for quite a while on the side. You are a guitar player,
Yeah, I
very
play
good.
Rock
one.
and roller.
You're
Play
playing
rock
some.
and
Tell us
roll.
about your
Pretty
band.
good.
You've been
It's pretty
multiple
good.
bands.
God, I played music since I was 13. So
Yeah.
it took
How many
a little
how many
break.
guitars do you have?
I have. Let's see. I just packed most of them in storage. I have 11. That my wife knows about. No.
That's like me.
Wow.
That's like me and guns. That my wife knows about.
And then my realtor was super
Oh,
cool
my.
because I'm going to do some traveling and I can only take one guitar with me. So
Oh.
my would have had to get a special storage unit for all my guitars because they have to be air, they
Yeah.
have to be temperature controlled.
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh, my kids moved out. Why don't you just throw them in this room up here?" So my
Oh,
realtor's going to hold them all.
super awesome.
That's
yeah.
Because I
cool.
send him business all the time.
Oh, yeah.
So he's like,
Okay.
It would,
Yeah.
make it would make it worth it, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, I played in a metal band in Portland called Splintered Throne.
Yeah.
For 15
Oh, yeah.
years, and they've been around. They've been around shooting now.
I
almost
have
20.
one of the CDs that
That's
you
right.
handed out. It's
That's
good.
right. And then we have another record coming out someday, somewhere. It's pretty much
Where can we get that record at? Does it? Can we get you on
Uh,
Spotify?
Plug it.
Yeah, if you have Spotify, iTunes, Deezer, FM, YouTube, all your major platforms, it's all,
And it's
all out there.
Splintered Throne,
I
right?
did not pick the name. Yeah, it was there when I got.
Well, no, I want to make sure people can hear it.
Throne.
That would hurt your butt, though.
It would hurt.
Oh
your
yeah,
butt.
well, that's not
It doesn't
right.
sound very fun to have a splintered throne.
But it's very
No.
heavy metalish.
It is.
very
Yeah, I
heavy
guess it
metal.
is.
Yes.
It's very power metal.
It does. It
Power.
feels. It's a very
European power
strong,
metal,
solid.
Sounds like a
name.
power bottom.
That's right.
Whoa. Tom's got one of those. He's been working out.
And then I
Jim Tan Laundry.
did a cover band called Millhouse that I still
words.
play with. And
Yes,
we
and
did
that's the
everything
one I've
from-
seen live. What?
Yeah.
About 3 times now.
Yeah.
I've
Very
seen you
good.
a couple times. I've actually seen both your bands live.
I haven't seen Splinter Throne yet, but
Hey, you probably won't.
obviously now, yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't
That's
you
all
play
right.
here once?
We're on hiatus. I didn't play here. You guys asked, but
That's
something
right.
happened.
Yeah.
But you know what did happen at this clubhouse?
Yes, go ahead with that
Oh,
story.
tell the story.
The last time I was here, I got an IA,
Yeah.
and I was working out in Frosty Grave,
Yeah.
and I got invited to a Halloween party here.
Oh yeah. That's
So-
when we went. We had Bloods here.
Yeah, and so
Well,
I got.
you weren't working that night.
I wasn't
you were
working.
Off. Okay.
No.
So you came.
So I called a friend of mine who lived up the road, and I said, "Hey, I need a DD because I'm gonna drink, and I need a designated driver." And so we showed up, and I got the time wrong.
What was your costume?
Wrong.
Real quick.
Oh God, I don't even.
You don't remember? Either do I.
Yeah.
I don't even remember that night.
But I showed up. There's like 3 people
that's
here
weird.
because I missed the time or the day or something. Anyway, I was wrong. So anyway, I sat here. I had a couple drinks anyway, and she drove me back, and we hung out at her place and stuff. And then my chief at the time was told ding dong. Anyway, he got wind of it and had me investigated for hanging out with an outlaw motorcycle
Yeah.
club.
How long ago was
Oh.
that?
That was in 08,
Eight?
09.
Yeah. So
right?
2 years. So we started like 07.
Yeah.
Oh,
somewhere
so it's
right in there.
And then
Yeah.
our sheriff didn't like us either back
There
then.
was a lot of undercurrent of motorcycle gang,
yeah.
and
And
everybody
I'm
was
like,
Yeah.
pointing at
It's
this
all
guy.
freaking-
Yeah,
I'm
we
like,
had a
it's
lot
all
of
cops.
turmoil.
Like,
Son of a
come
bitch.
on, man.
We had a
I said,
lot of
I'm-
bullshit back in the day.
I'm
Not liking us.
I came to
Gangsters.
hang out. That's all I came to do.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
brought a DD. And they investigated her. They asked her a bunch of questions. She's like, yeah. We showed up. We had he had a couple drinks and drove home.
Yeah. We're not selling guns out of here,
Yeah.
people.
So
Idiots.
So did it just get?
that one got
What was the-
happened? I got like a letter of reprimand or something. And that was around the time that I knew that I went from being like
And-
literally employee of the year, and then they hired this ding dong.
Yeah.
After everybody in the agency went, don't hire that guy. And what did the city do? They hired that guy, right? We had like
Ugh.
3 people, and they picked that guy
At Frosty.
at Frosty.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, he was a ding dong.
It's
He
funny
ran
they have
the
no
place
evidence
down.
against it that there's anything wrong here,
Yeah.
but they still said you did something wrong.
Yeah, and I was like, whatever. And anyway, he got investigated by the FBI and doesn't work in law enforcement.
Yeah, I remember him.
Retired,
Well, that's
so-
I remember
that's
him.
weird.
I
What a,
don't know.
what a
Isn't
twist
that
of
the dude-
fate.
Yeah, I'm
Isn't
like,
that to do with the cane?
I don't know.
Didn't
about
he have a
that.
cane?
I don't know about that.
Because I think we got him back in the day going like 140 on 26.
I don't remember him having
Not
a
going code-
cane.
Oh, you know who you're thinking of? The King City guy.
No, he was a chief out here.
Oh, he was because the King
His
City
car-
guy was weird too.
Dan and I
Remember
got
him?
him going
He was
super
pulling people over
like
in
140 out there on
in
26
plainclothes?
in his
That was my
Portland.
other
The King
chief.
City
That's
guy.
a different
Yeah.
guy.
I had 2 chiefs in a row that were like,
Well,
That's a
that's
diff- yeah,
no, but
big
that was the
dog.
King City guy because he got in a
That's a
fight.
different guy.
Yeah.
This guy wasn't pulling people over. He's just going
Yeah.
cold. I mean, just driving
Yeah.
super fast. and we
okay. I
got
know
him
who you're
going-
talking
I mean,
about now.
We just
Okay.
lasered him going like 140 for no reason.
Well, you forget about these people. He was gone for so long from, Anyway,
so anyway. It all worked out. It was
Whatever.
super stressful at the time.
Yeah.
It was very stressful. There was a bunch, and I
That
had
whole-
just gone through a gnarly divorce. So there was just a lot of shit going on.
and we're still here, though,
Yeah.
people. We're still here,
Right.
Sheriff.
I
Yeah.
survived all that stuff.
Yeah, I hear that.
Yeah. So
yeah, that's awesome.
Well, good for you.
Yeah.
And thanks for coming to the Halloween party.
Yeah.
Even though it wasn't probably the
I'm
wrong
glad you
day.
came.
It
I
was the
wasn't here,
first-
but
it
I'm
was
glad
the
you
first
came.
cop party I'd ever been in. I wouldn't say first. Is one of the first I'd ever got invited to. So I was like, oh, it's kind of cool.
Got to go. Got to go to the
Gotta
cop
man.
party.
Yeah. And
'Cause
then
those can be
I always
fun.
support the Gunslinger.
Yes.
The logo when
He
I'm
wears our
playing in my-
shirt. You'll
in
see
my
him in his
band,
videos probably with our
yeah.
shirts, our logo. Our,
'cause it's
That
super
reminds me
cool.
of another thing. I don't know how to play that. I'll have to ask Robbie in post production. But anyway,
You have to get the clip
we
in there.
we were at the so we went to see his band a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, it was like
Now?
last week.
Was it last week?
Yeah, last
Oh.
week. week
Where'd you
before.
play at?
We played at the Barrel Room downtown. In
Oh yeah, yeah. It was great. And during one of the songs, and
We say it's by Modern English. We did that.
you know,
Melt with
it's
You.
I'll melt with you,
Uh-huh.
and it was an '80s song.
Yeah.
And what did you say?
And Kill Gerba.
You said Kill
Kill
Gerba, and I've
Gerba?
got it
Oh,
on audio.
Stop
I actually
the world.
because
that
I
melt
sometimes
with you. And
record
Kill
some of the
Gerba.
songs because it's cool to listen to them, and then I got it right up until you
Yeah.
said Kill Gerba, and then I stopped the video.
Yeah.
So I just got lucky.
Yeah, you totally did.
Yeah, I'll have to see
But I
it.
saw you filming it. I'm like, I'm a little bit of a ham. So
Yes, you
I'm
are.
Like, oh,
A little
yeah.
bit.
Yeah, I know. I'm like,
A little
look at
bit.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you said I could hear.
I'm an
I didn't
entertainer.
hear it initially. I wasn't really paying attention. I mean, I was listening to the music, but I was like, I didn't hear you say it. Then I went back and I heard it and I sent it to you, and it said you can clearly hear
It's
Kill
too bad
Gerba.
you're not coming to the next one because
Yeah.
I'm changing the lyrics from Jesse's Girl to Gerba's Boat.
Oh, you gotta record
Oh,
that.
for sure.
Gerba's Boat.
Oh,
So-
shoot, yeah. Well, I got another one out of. I told you why. Because if I
Gerba
don't
Boat.
go to my thing, I'll never hear the end of it.
No, you have to. That's totally cool. But we will. We'll try and get some,
Oh
get
yeah,
some video.
that
for
would
you,
be great because
So.
that'll be
Reminds me,
perfect.
I have to write the lyrics for it. I have to come up with that.
Yeah, that'll
When
be
is
awesome.
that going to be?
That's June 21st.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this won't come out. This won't
This
come
won't
out.
come out before then,
This
unfortunately.
will come out way after that, though.
So maybe there'll be a video out there. You know,
Um,
look up Gerba's Boat because
yeah, maybe.
hashtag Gerba's Boat.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna ask.
Hey, give me
her-
that pen, sir.
What day?
Just
you
give me
want?
that pen.
No, it's mine.
Jesus Christ, Scott.
If it's coming out after, it doesn't matter.
No, but I mean for me to go.
Oh,
Yeah, he's got to write it down.
Where's it at?
is that Bleachers?
Oh,
Oh.
Toby.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I went
Toby.
Toby and I
Send
went to
me-
the academy together.
Yeah.
I gotta write
Toby
notes.
used to be a member
Ah,
back in
okay.
the day. His
Oh, that
picture
was a
might be
while
around here
ago.
somewhere.
Oh, I'll have to look
Peaches. Peaches.
That was his nickname?
That was his name was
Oh,
Peaches.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good to know.
Yeah, there you go.
His
Yeah.
picture's probably up here somewhere.
Maybe we should.
He won't get the bull back anymore. He had the bull. He used to have a mechanical bull he did bring out, and we'd go out there and ride it.
Cool.
Out in the parking lot?
No, at his other bar.
Oh.
Not at the bleachers, at the other one.
We
The
played
was
it.
it Friar Tuck? No,
Friar Tuck.
yeah,
Yeah, over
Friar
there in
Tuck.
Southwest
we
Portland.
played.
Yeah.
We played at Friar Tuck, and we've done Bleachers a couple times. I like that because it's close. It was close to my house.
Yeah, I like bleachers too. It's a little closer.
It's got its own
Yeah,
PA,
it's
so
closer than
it
Portland.
works
But
out.
Give me that pen back, sir.
oh
Sorry.
my gosh, you're killing me.
Why you gotta have the pen all the time? I can't see.
Because I got to
share.
write some notes every now and again.
Yeah.
I'm a note taker.
So yeah. So then
Grass.
that was it. It's my law enforcement career.
Yeah.
My
So-
stuff on the side.
So you're not working now, right? So you guys, you and the missus have a plan. What is your plan?
The plan is we're gonna travel until the money runs out. As we sold our house, we
Right.
sold all our shit. Like we sold all the toys, everything we bought.
Yeah.
Bought a fifth wheel last year. Bought a truck last year. No, bought a truck 5 years ago. So it's all paid off. Everything is paid off. We're 100% debt free, and we're just gonna travel for however long this money runs out. And when it does, we'll come back to Oregon. probably.
You're all
Yeah.
pre-planned where you're going each month, right? Or
Yeah,
whatever?
because if you want to go to Florida in July or in January, which is part of my plan, like you got to book it now.
Yeah.
So I got up
Right.
the other day, Monday. I got up.
All
up
the
at
old people
6
are there,
I
right?
got up at 6 a.m.
Oh,
There's a
geez.
place I wanted to go to, and they're what I've learned is if you're going to book Florida in the what they call the on season, which is July, February, March,
Right.
they want you to stay a month or longer at a time.
Yeah.
So they book up all the month spots, and then anything shorter than that, they give you a little window. So there was this one place I kept looking at because it was affordable and in a really cool spot. And so the gal's like, on June 2nd, you got to call. We open at 9. So I got up at 6 o'clock because
Yeah.
time difference, and I started calling, busy. Finally, I got answering machine. So I left a message, kept calling, busy. By 6:15, I got the answering machine again, and it was full. And they still haven't called me back.
Oh, wow.
So
So
I'm
you-
like, well, not getting in there. So I ended up going to a
That's
different
crazy.
campground that's fucking expensive. It's,
Mm.
it's $200 a night.
Oh,
Yee.
I
that's
know.
pretty hot for
But I
pretty,
want to be in the Keys for a week.
It's pretty
so-
expensive
Oh,
for
yeah.
a
So
campground.
I'm going to be in the Keys for a week, and we're
Cool.
literally right. It's an hour and a half to Key West, an hour and a half to the Everglades. Because the other thing my wife wants to do is all the national parks.
Yeah, yeah.
And she's got
Oh,
a little
sure.
passport book, and I bought
Yeah.
her a little water bottle that you put all stickers on and stuff.
Oh.
So that'll help
pretty
us
cool.
with a couple things. Yeah, we'll go down there for a week, and then we're going to come back up. I think we're staying somewhere on the Gulf Coast. It's a little more affordable for
But
the
you're
rest of that because we're going to Mardi Gras in 2026. So we have a bunch
Oh.
of stuff all planned out.
so but you're starting this month or next month?
We're wheels up July 1st. I mean, we're living in it, but we're living close.
Right.
So we can
Yeah, you're
finish
still in the
stuff up
area,
and-
local
yeah.
area, right?
So yeah.
So you're just gonna try to hit as many states as you can, or
Yeah.
Did you put
Okay.
a little American flag on your RV or your fifth wheel? So you
No.
put a little sticker each time you go to a
No,
state?
because then you can't resell. That's why I got her
Yeah,
the
no.
water bottle. That way she can take it with
Oh.
her. And
Oh, and
she's
then
going to do
put each
something.
state sticker on it.
A lot of old people do that.
Gotta
put
get a
little-
big-
Yeah, it's
yeah.
not
Put their
lame.
shit
We're
on
not-
there.
we're not doing
Oh,
that.
that's true.
Stupid.
So we're going to see some family.
I had to
we're gonna
ask
see
you
some
first before I
friends.
said it.
You don't want to say it's,
I didn't do that on my fifth
he doesn't
wheel.
want to
Doesn't have that
ridicule
shit
you
on.
until he
Not
knows
doing
for
that,
sure.
yeah.
I just got gunslinger stickers on mine.
Oh, weird.
Wonder why.
I used to on the other one. So we used to have a bumper pull. I
And
had a
Tommy
Splinter
Buckmaster
Drone
stickers.
sticker on it, and we
Oh,
used to
there
call
you
it the
go.
Splinter Home.
Splinter home.
Oh,
Yeah.
jeez.
But this one's called the Taj Mahal because it's and it's spelled Mahal as M''HAUL because
Mahal.
huge.
Yeah.
Mahal.
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 Upgraded to a dually and yeah.
Nice.
it's all
Oh,
good.
yeah.
Dualies are great. I got one of those too.
Oh, man.
So yeah, so we're gonna
Is
be.
it a GMC?
Nah, I want a Ram.
Jesus.
I got a
Should have
Stingray.
known better.
I got a Dodge.
There you
Well,
go.
I
Ah.
got a Ram. It's not.
Ram.
Oh,
I had one of those
it's
until it
Ram
blew up.
Tough,
I had a
Gerba.
Ram tough until it blew up. Gerba.
So
Trendy
yeah, we'll
dropped.
do that, and we're gonna go see some other retired people that we know that are
Very
living
good.
in other states.
I wanted to
Yeah.
do that, but I'm too scared.
People
Yeah,
from
well,
this
that's scary.
area or people that you know from
Um,
outside the area also.
You go see Dan C?
I'm gonna. I don't know. I don't know where Dan C is. I'm gonna go
think he's
see
in Arizona.
Jeff D, and I'm gonna go see.
Oh, yeah, Beaverton.
From Beaverton?
Yep, and
Yep.
I'm gonna go see J.K. John K.
Oh, yeah. Your
Mhm.
buddy.
Your
Our
buddy.
buddy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
going to-
Scott.
Oh, I'm thinking of it.
Old
Yeah.
Buckeye. Yeah,
Oh,
we're
you
trying to
gotta-
squeeze
you-
him in.
Yeah.
Did you get a hold of him?
Yeah, I've been talking.
Okay,
about it.
good, good,
And
good.
then who else? There is well, there's another guy that was a huge fan of our band. He lives in Arkansas, so I'm gonna go visit him.
Oh, okay.
So it's kind of interesting.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Nah, he's not a. He's
You mean a
not,
groupie? He's a groupie.
You talking
not
about
a groupie.
You talking about
He's-
BK?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
He's not a
Because he
cop,
lives down there
Scott.
too. Well, but he was one.
And then yeah, that's gonna be fun. And I can't fix anything. That's the best part. So I might do this thing called That Stupid RV Show, which is
Yeah.
me trying to flub my way through fixing stuff. Although I've been pretty lucky so
Get
far.
some duct tape, maybe a butter knife.
Yeah, fixing. I took an RV class, and so I'm
Yeah.
trying to. I'm trying.
Call our friend Kelly D. He used to work for
Didn't know that.
Curtis.
Oh,
Yeah, he knows all that shit,
learn
dude.
something every day.
Yeah.
See, I'm learning stuff, and
Oh.
YouTube's great. Everything so far. I'm
Yeah.
like, look it up. I'm like, oh, I can do that.
YouTube, baby.
Yeah.
been good.
YouTube's a good place
That's
for
awesome.
all that shit.
Yeah.
I use it
That'll
a
be
lot.
fun.
Yeah.
That'll be fun to see people and go do different things and travel. That's kind of something I want to do. I'd just more stick towards the Western U.S. I wouldn't
Yeah.
go as far as you, but I do want to see the Keys. I think that'd be really
Yeah.
neat to go to the far south end with that little, how did you call that?
Yeah.
The big round ball that has the final,
all the letters.
the farthest south
Yeah,
the
yeah.
red
part of the
and
United
yellow
States.
and white,
Yeah.
that shit on
Yeah,
there, right?
exactly.
Whatever
Yeah.
that thing's called.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
I don't know what you call it. What
I'm
the
gonna take
technical
pic-
term is.
pictures and keep everybody. You know,
Yeah.
If you follow my journey. And
Oh yeah, well
yeah.
you're on the
Stalk you
FB,
on the
so
FB.
I've been seeing you.
Scott
Yeah,
and FB, and-
Yeah.
yeah.
So you live in your trailer. Do you have residency somewhere? Are you still in Oregon?
We're gonna
Do you have
be
like a
Oregon
P.O. box?
residents. I got a personal mailbox that actually qualifies as a physical address.
So my buddy,
Oh,
he bought an RV site or rents an RV site. He lives in California, but he didn't. His name's Hamchuck. Peace out, Hamchuck. He's in the club, but he's retired cop out of California. But then he bought or rents a spot part time in Arizona, so he has dual residency
Oh yeah.
for gun
Oh.
issues
Oh.
because it's better to have
yeah.
a spot there than in California, obviously.
Yeah.
And it's very cheap. I was thinking about doing that too. Just get, and he doesn't even put his, he doesn't have a trailer there. He just has the spot.
Yeah.
but you got your HB whatever that is, 218 or whatever it is.
You're still a reserve too.
because you're still a reserve, right?
Yeah, and I'm gonna probably give that up because I got another thing kind of working in
The reserve thing?
plans over
Oh,
here. Yeah,
okay.
I got this other thing that's
Don't do
gonna-
shit for free, bro.
No.
Come on.
Well, yeah, that's a whole story into itself. So I did that for a particular reason because I
Because you want to stay
retired.
involved, right?
Well, I retired right at 55. So
Right.
that was like literally, I turned 55 and I retired 3 days later. I did that work back thing we can do here in Oregon
Right.
for a while. And then I'm like, peace out. But the goal has always, or the plan has always been, I know at some point I have to come back to work and do something. I don't have to gun
Right.
and badge anymore. I got a ton of different things that I can do. So I wanted to keep my DRE certification. So that's the reason I stayed a reserve, is so that I can, to keep that, because I just recertified. So as long as I'm under the employ of an agency that does traffic stuff, it doesn't matter what I do,
Yeah.
then
So you don't
keep-
technically have to do that retired qual thing like we did.
Uh,
But did you though?
I did.
Might as well, right?
Once
You
a
I
got
did
year?
a full qual.
you get the-
I did a full qual to get
but
my
you got the
Leosa.
cards and-
yeah, I got my Leosa.
Okay, that's what I'm
And
talking about.
I'll
Yeah,
keep that, and we'll probably be back here in April or May of next year, so I can re-up it.
yeah.
Although,
So the
if I don't know if you know this, but right now they're trying to pass a 3-year. Federally, they're trying to instead of qualifying every year,
Every year.
they're trying to do it 3 years.
oh
They're trying, so yeah,
That'd be fine,
watch
too.
I like the
FOPC.
year though
yeah,
because
years. Yeah,
I get to see some people. I mean, we see each
Yeah.
other all the time though, but
yeah.
It's if you're not traveling, a year is
Yeah,
pretty good. If you're
traveling's-
traveling.
it's
'cause
a suck.
I
It'd
have
suck.
to come back here.
3
Gotta
would be
come back
good.
here.
Yeah.
Do some weird thing. I gotta come
Well,
back.
they allow certain. What I've heard is you can go to another agency, and if they
Whoa,
do
tall
something
fir,
similar.
tall fir down,
That's
Oh,
right.
tall
There
fir
you go.
timber.
tall fir timber. Those
You have to
trees
find the right
fall.
agency, and then
Right.
the agency has to do a qual that is acceptable under our range master's guide.
Right,
So I've
which
done all the research on that. Yeah.
might be a little bit more work than you probably want to do.
Yeah.
But what if you moved?
Well,
Can't
then
you use theirs? Like if
Yeah,
I
I
moved to
don't know.
Arizona,
I
can't you
don't
just switch
know.
to
Yeah.
their
Well,
shit?
we had a guest on that was from Arizona, Mike,
Mhm.
and
But he
he
called up
came.
here.
He was here
Yeah.
to do the show, not just do the show, but he was here to visit
Yeah.
people. So we did the show, and he also got to qual while he was here,
Yeah.
which was nice.
I have
But he
a-
comes
I
up
have
here
kids
every
that-
year anyway, so
Yeah, he
I have
does because he
kids
still
that are
got.
not leaving the state. So
So you have
we'll
you
be
still
back.
have ties.
Yeah, and we're pretty sure we're moving back to Oregon anyway. So when we
Yeah.
done traveling.
why? Just
Not
kidding.
here.
Just
No, he
We're
would
moving
go.
some
Just
other
kidding.
place in
Yeah.
Oregon. We're not moving up here.
I've talked to you about where you're going to move, but
Yeah.
a much different environment
Yeah. So
to some degree.
so
Warmer
I'll
too.
come back and do. I just want to have that option, whether I do it or not.
Right.
I don't know, but I like having options. I don't like being shit. I can only do this. I got a bunch of different stuff I can do.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
that's
and I can't
awesome.
sit still, so I have
Yeah.
to do something, whether it's playing in my band or
Yeah.
teaching or doing something.
Well, you're constantly busy.
Yeah.
What about doing laundry? You like laundry?
I had to go to the laundromat the other day.
Oh, that's right. You don't have. Yeah.
you don't have a. you
Your
Your
don't have a
RV doesn't
washer.
have a.
No, because it's too much weight. Although
Oh,
now I got the dually and I
shit.
could get away with it, but
Yeah. Do you have hookups in it?
I got hookups.
Yeah. So I got
just-
hookups in mine too. I just don't have the. I
I
don't.
just
I
don't.
don't
They're
live in
probably
it
a
yet.
lot smaller in there,
They
I
are,
suppose, than
just
your
more
regular
shit to
house ones.
break, and
Yeah.
True.
my
Yeah.
wife and I like going and
Laundromat.
exploring stuff. Laundromat, yeah.
Yeah, you go there, hang
Forgot
out for a
about
couple
that.
hours.
So it was nice because I went to the one in Banks, which is actually not too bad.
Yeah.
And I went across. I put my stuff in the washer. and
Went
dryer.
across the street, had a couple drinks,
Went across the street. No, not a couple drinks. I had a cup of coffee,
cup of coffee.
Yeah.
Oh,
scone, and
Yeah.
then I, did some stuff on my tablet, and then I took my laundry.
oh,
It kind of worked out.
There you go.
good for you.
So
That's awesome.
when I change locations, I'm going to be closer to the town of Vernonia, and so I haven't heard really good things about that laundromat. So anyway, that would be it. That's my next adventure. Is
Which laundromat is going to be good?
I might just drive into Banks and call it good.
It's not
Yeah.
that far.
We'll see. Yeah,
That's
that's
fine.
what we get to do in
Yeah.
my retirement.
Gives you something to do.
Doing laundry.
Laundry.
Yeah.
Laundromat.
Gym 10 laundry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now some of the places we're staying at, they're actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well, they're like
one-
little compounds.
Oh, some like
Yeah.
Yeah.
some I'm trying to save money. We're at a state park. Or we're at a Army Corps of Engineers.
Yeah.
And some I'm like, screw it. We're gonna pay the bucks, and we're gonna have the lazy river, and the
Yeah.
one that we're going to has a margarita bar. So has a lazy river, has a margarita bar at one end and a taco bar at the other.
God damn, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Whew.
Swim up pool.
Tom-
swim
I
up
love
bar.
swim up bars. Oh my
with
god, I love
nachos.
it.
With nachos.
I love sitting in the water
Yeah.
drinking.
Isn't
Nothing
that the
better.
best? Yeah, it's a pretty good deal.
I
I
love
haven't done
that.
that in a while.
Yeah.
Drinking
Last-
tequila while
last-
you're sitting in a pool.
Last swim up bar was.
Shit.
Yeah,
I'll get to do that in Palm Springs
That
pretty
was
soon.
great in Mexico while we were doing that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Swim up bars are the best.
Yeah, they are. So are you doing any you gonna stay in any like dry camp and stuff? Like in just like state land? Just pop it in there and stay there for a couple weeks?
We could. The problem is if the weather's super hot, I can't run my ACs.
Yeah.
And I got
Oh.
You got your dogs,
I
yeah,
got my
that's true.
dogs, so that kind of limits us. And I don't know. I'm super sketchy about. I did this for 26 years. I don't trust leaving my
Yeah.
shit out in the woods.
Oh,
all by
yeah.
Yeah.
myself. Like
Yeah.
I don't
we
blame you.
we are doing some dry camp. When we go towards Grand Canyon.
Yeah.
We're doing like 3 or 4 days out there. But I did a ton of research, and it's all good. And I know where to get my water. And
You gonna be a camp host one day?
I don't know.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Maybe. Again, it's another option.
Yeah, it's another
Camp
thing.
host and-
Stay for
J-Mo
free
the
for,
camp host.
That's right.
for the winter somewhere, right? You winter there somewhere it's nice.
It's funny. We stayed in a state. I think it was a state park down in Jackson County last year.
Oh,
The
yeah.
camp host, he was hammered. He'd just drive that little 4x around. Hey, you guys pay for the extra car. because my
Oh,
kids
no.
were visiting and we're like, oh yeah, we'll pay that, and we never did.
Yeah.
So I figured he'd forget the next day, and
Yeah.
sure as shit, he came by the next day. Hey, are you guys gonna pay the extra fee? No, we'll take care of it later.
That's awesome.
You
Just keep
said you're
putting them
going
off.
to, remember last night you said you'd give it to us. You were going to
Yeah.
give us a pass for free.
Yeah.
You came by and had a couple drinks with us. You don't remember that,
I
bro?
just kept.
Yeah.
I watched him drive away, and I'm like, oh my god, that guy's hammered.
You could do an FST on him?
I was on vacation, and now I'm not employed. So,
Yeah.
Let's check this out, sir. Come here.
yeah,
Oh, man.
But-
That's rough.
that was fun.
Yeah. Well, cool.
Yeah.
So you have any good, anything you remember to put you on the spot? Any funny police stories or anything that was interesting as you,
Besides your IA story about us.
well, yeah, the 26
That was a good
years.
one.
That was all right.
A funny Dewey or something or,
No, I mean, there's been a lot of. Well, a couple times I'd arrest people and they'd go, "I recognize you. Like, where from? Do you play in a band?" I'm like, "Fuck." So that happened a couple
oh,
times.
no, that's not good.
Yeah. And then I was actually at a gig once at McGuffey's, the McGuffey's that used
Oh,
to be across
yeah,
the
yeah,
old,
yeah.
the office.
Oh, shit.
And I was playing in the 80s, like a 80s metal cover band at the time. We're called MD 2020. And
Mad Dog.
Mad Dog 2020.
Oh, my, what a great
I
name.
drank that when I was 16 and 17.
And, there was a
No,
guy that
stop
kept
it.
heckling me between every song. You
Yeah.
wrote me a ticket. Fuck you, cop. And so then
Oh, my God.
then my buddy Carlton, who's like, he's like 6'7". He just looks super mean, but he's not. He's a teddy bear.
Yeah.
He just picked the guy up and dragged him out.
That's
That's
awesome.
the end of that.
Time for you to go.
Time for you to go. I was
See
like,
you
"Ah."
later.
That
Oh, my
was,
God. That's
we
hilarious.
had I'm trying to remember who I was with. I'm pretty sure I was working in Frosty Grave, but it might have been the other place.
yeah.
We had a couple transients that were
Not out there.
passed out in a car behind a business. And so
Yeah.
I like messing with people. I
Yeah.
like to have fun, you know.
Yeah.
Started running place next to the car and then banging on the car, wake them up.
Yeah.
They thought the car, we're like, stop the car. And so they woke up and thought the car was moving, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
And they're like, get out of
Oh.
here. So
Oh,
yeah, that was kind of a funny story.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah. When you put people on the spot, they're
I
like,
know.
I know.
Now capers, I remember a ton of different capers and things I did, but when it comes to those,
Yeah.
especially a lot of times when I worked in the next town over, I was the only guy working,
Ah, that would be weird.
you know? So,
Yeah, I wouldn't
like,
want to do that.
You'd go to calls like,
Hated being the only.
Yeah.
No,
you,
well, I
you
was
would
never
have
the only
you would
car.
have cover units, but they weren't from
I
your
would.
agency. Yeah,
Yeah.
you'd have
Be us.
county or
oh, yeah, county,
state police.
you know,
Yeah,
Frosty
or the
Grave guys.
yeah.
There was a couple calls where
So
I'm
funny.
like, oh, this sucks. I hope
That's
that
another
guy
reason why I
doesn't
didn't work in
come
the
out
West
right now.
End.
So,
Oh my
and then I worked with some cool people. Like when I worked with this guy named Dustin, we would always have a word of the day,
Oh,
and you would try and say the word of the day over the radio, and usually it was like I don't know, like
something a little off.
scrumptious. The word
Yeah.
of the day is scrumptious. So yeah, I try and get that out over the radio.
I like to say
You say
Sebastian.
Dustin. You talking about the one that's at the new agency still?
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
The
You-
only one we never were able to get, and I don't even know where we came up with this word, was ball fungal.
What was
Ball
it?
Ball
fungal.
fungal.
Ball fungal?
Can you spell that?
BALL.
Use that in a sentence.
FUNGLE. I don't know how to use it in a sense. I just
Is it a real word?
It is now.
Yeah.
We're
I have
using
ball-
that.
We're
I got
trying-
ball fungal.
Yeah, and
Is
that's
that a-
kind of
is it a medical term?
You know, Gerba had a case of the ball
Yeah,
fungal,
yes,
and he
that's
was
where that
telling me about it
comes
the other day. Yeah.
He got it from his boat.
Yes, he did. Let's go.
He got
Anyway.
it from the water at Billy
right.
Chinook.
It chafes.
It's in his. It was in his
He used his
perineum.
it got on his dongle.
That's right.
His perineum.
That's why but that's why now he only wears the t-shirt. He
Yeah.
doesn't wear anything.
Well,
Yeah.
it's,
It's just the t-shirt.
yeah, Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah. So
That may or may not be brought up later.
yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So yeah, word of the day was kind of fun.
You're a pretty big guy.
Mayonnaise.
Remember the dad? He's the dad joke guy, aren't you?
yeah.
Briefing?
So yeah,
Dad jokes.
He
so
told a lot of
every
dad jokes that I
morning-
got.
Every morning.
Sorry, but I did get tired of that during day shift briefings.
Son
Yeah.
of Gerba.
Jesus.
Oh well, the
Gerba
one
drove
one sergeant would always perfectly hang up right
Yep.
as you were
Yes.
saying it,
Yep.
Yeah.
and that was kind of funny.
Yep.
But give us a couple dad
Yeah.
jokes.
Oh my
Come
God.
on.
Put you on the
can do
spot
it.
again.
Well, I'll start. Yeah.
I gotta
Why
think
does
about-
Snoop Dogg carry an umbrella? Fadrizzle.
For Drizzle.
Yeah. See, there you go. I'm getting you started.
I would have to look at him the night before. and
Oh.
memorize
He
it.
had one every day.
Yeah, every day.
And some of them
Some
were
were
pretty good.
Luckily, I was
Some
at a
of them
different
you had to-
precinct
you
too.
droned a lot.
Yeah, there were a lot of those.
Yeah. You could hear Tom groaning from the
Yeah.
north office up there.
Oh,
Oh my
You know
God,
that if
Moser.
yeah, see again, trying to think of one. I'm like, I'm gonna blow it. I'm not gonna tell it right. So,
yeah, well,
yeah.
Oh, that's
They have to be
awesome.
spontaneous.
yes.
Yeah,
Or planned out. You can't just.
Some
be-
of them were good.
Yeah.
Some were,
Yeah.
but it's okay.
Yeah. that happens. Well, they're supposed to be little.
They're supposed to be. That's why they're called dad jokes, right?
That's why,
Exactly.
That's why they're.
That's
dad jokes.
right. So
You know that if you're if you have a homeowner's insurance policy and your blanket disappears in the middle of the night, you may not be covered.
he popped one out there.
There it is.
Ladies
See?
and gents, he
I
popped
knew-
it out.
Yay! J-Mo,
There you go.
dad joke.
On the spot. It's like, how do I get that out?
You may not be covered.
He may not be covered.
State Farm.
State Farm.
Like,
Well, it was funny because I'd heard a bunch of those one day. We were in briefing and you'd done a couple of them. And I go back and there's a graveyard guy, Ross.
Yeah.
And he was good with those too. And I did the whole for Drizzle thing. And he shot back right away. What does Snoop Dogg use on his laundry? And I go, I don't know. Bleach. And I went, oh, that's pretty good. I mean, he came right back with it. And
Yeah.
it was pretty
It
good.
was pretty good.
Yeah.
Huh.
So I've heard he was very
Okay,
good.
let's just stop with that shit.
No, you don't want more dad
No
jokes?
more dad jokes.
Oh my gosh. So
Sorry.
no, it's fine. We got to move along. So, whoa, sound
Sorry.
effects. Tom had some.
Yeah, we don't have
he
a
had
sound
some-
effect board,
he had
so I
some-
make my own.
Tom had some beans for breakfast.
I haven't eaten
Um,
breakfast yet.
Oh
It's
man.
just coffee.
So,
Coffee and protein powder. Raw.
having been in law enforcement for 26 years, what advice would you give somebody, a new person coming in, or somebody that's there, or somebody that's about to retire, that you either wish you would have done or you did, and you're so glad you did?
Or something you should have done. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Wish you would have done. You're right.
Yeah.
I just, yeah.
You just used the Tom version.
Well,
Yeah.
I shouldn't have married the first wife. That was.
Hey, I did that too.
Merry Christmas.
Sometimes the starter wife
Sometimes
is
the starter
good
wife's-
because I wouldn't.
It
have
lasts
to
about
totally
2 weeks.
Yeah, I would have.
Mine
screwed
lasts
up.
like 2 weeks.
Mine's
Yeah.
2 years, but whatever.
I hear you. I had to
Well,
start
it took 2 years to get
Beyonce.
divorced.
But it set me up good for where I'm at now. So that's all good. I think because they're all kind of different. Like I would tell new cops different things than I would tell like someone who's about to retire.
Sure.
So like new guys.
So let's
I
go
would
new
say,
cop. What would you say?
Yeah, just stick with new cops because the old guys like,
Don't give a shit. Well,
Yeah,
actually, I
they
got
do.
something for that. But
okay,
have friends outside of law enforcement is the best thing. I kept most of my music friends, and so
Good.
when I had a bunch of crap going on, all those stressful times that were going on in my career, I had people that had a different perspective and would listen. I think it was the last podcast I came out, and someone was talking about having friends that are outside the business.
Yeah.
Oh,
give a
absolutely.
different perspective. So that was huge for me.
Yeah,
I could
Yes,
Totally
I never
agree.
had that.
Yeah.
vent
I
to my
totally
band
agree.
guys,
Till
I could
now,
vent to
basically.
my friends, and they would go, "Oh, wow, that's like especially with
Oh,
all
yeah.
the George Floyd stuff going on."
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
wow, that's what you guys deal with. So that was kind of nice. And my wife has been a huge supporter because she grew up in a family of firefighters. So
So she understands the first
she
responder
totally- yeah,
thing.
and
Yeah.
she like she knows if I'm gonna tell a story, she's like, this story might get kind of sideways now.
She knows it's going to be, could be
Yeah.
a little bit dark humor or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
or
I
nasty.
always, that was the other thing is I always kept my sense of humor. So I think a lot of people thought, and I've heard this from a couple people. Moser's a goof off, and he's a
Yeah.
clown, whatever. But when it comes time for business, business. Is
Sure,
business.
absolutely. You got to be
But having
serious.
all
You
that-
gotta have both. You could be
Yeah.
well rounded. That's the way
Yeah.
I looked at it.
Yeah.
'cause
You gotta have
there's-
fun,
you gotta
and
have
then it's
fun.
time not to have fun,
Yep.
right?
Right?
Yeah.
It's time to be nice till it's time to not. Be
Time not
nice.
to be nice, right? That's the way I looked at it too.
Oh, Roadhouse.
Time to
There
beat
you
some
go.
ass, right?
So that's
Yeah.
the way I always looked at it. I remember once I was on a call with a guy named Chris who works
Oh,
worked
yeah.
upstairs,
Mm-hmm.
and we had a guy in the intox room, and he was acting really weird. We were trying to do a DR eval on him at some point.
Chris was or the bad guy?
Chris.
Just kidding.
So
They both were.
the guy pops his head out of the intoxilizer room,
Yeah.
and we're on this like hallway, and Chris and I are standing down here, and I'd arrested him for Dewey, and Chris is going to do my eval, and he's like, I'm really nervous about going into the dark room with that guy. Like,
Yeah.
'cause there's a part of the DRE evaluation where we shut the lights out and we look at their eyes, right?
Yeah.
And he was just acting weird, like super psycho. And so we're having this discussion probably, I don't know, 15, 20 feet away. So the guy pops his head out and then he looks over at the exit door like he's going to go out that door. Now that door's mag keyed and he can't get out. But
Right.
he goes to it like he's going to get out. I cover that ground. I knock him down. I freaking armbar him, and I got him ready like to be detained again.
Yeah.
This guy, Chris, he stand out the other end like, I didn't know you could move that fast. It's like, I've
That's
never seen
awesome.
you. I've never seen you do that. It's like, so
You thought you were gonna tell him a dad joke.
yeah,
Yeah.
no, yeah. So you never know.
Yeah.
Uh,
You throw him off. You get in his OODA loop. Tell him a
Whoa.
dad joke.
I
And-
tell anybody that's going to retire, and I did this. This was at the bequest of my brother-in-law who retired from the fire service in San Jose after 25 years.
Okay.
He didn't go see somebody for all the stuff that he saw, and he's having some stuff with some PTSD and stuff, right?
Right.
So he's like, his advice to me was go talk to somebody about all the stuff you think may not be in there.
Oh,
You
it's
just-
there.
You don't know.
It's there.
Yeah.
So I did.
I'm still
I
talking.
I went to talk to a
Did you
therapist
go to the
for a while.
Place real close
Yeah, I
to
went
the
to
office.
the one that you suggested.
Okay,
And
yep.
it was great. And that
They're very good. Yeah.
therapist I had, we worked on a couple things. She's like, actually, you're pretty squared away based
Yeah.
on the mental health stuff that I've done over my career.
Right.
But there's a couple things I hadn't thought about, and I'm like, it was really good to go. And I would suggest that
Right.
for anybody leaving the business.
They
Well, you should-
whether
they
you think you need it or
Yeah,
not.
you should start sooner before you're leaving. I would
Yeah,
suggest do it
start-
sooner than later.
because they'll
So
see
that's-
things that you think you
Yeah.
know and you don't know. And there's someone that doesn't know you.
Yep.
They're only getting the information you provide them, and they're able to figure that out. And they're
Yeah.
very smart and they're good at that stuff.
Yeah, they gave me a book to
So,
read,
yep.
and like I said, some stuff that I was like, oh, I hadn't really thought of that, and so and
Yeah.
it was stuff that would, definitely impact, especially what we're doing.
Oh,
Not
yeah.
only are my wife and I now we're going to see each other on a regular basis. We went from a 2,100 square foot to a 300 square foot home. Like
Now you're going to be
crap.
right there on top
We're
of each other. Yeah.
Yeah.
we're right in everybody's grill. So
Yeah.
it was the advice I got was really good, and I would
Yeah.
suggest that to anybody.
Yep.
It was,
Yeah.
I agree with
It-
that
it's-
100%.
It's
I wish they had that sooner than we started back in the day.
because there was a stigma,
Yeah,
right,
you're a
attached to
puss.
it initially.
You can't talk about that
Just
shit.
Yeah.
bury it all
Yeah,
deep
yeah. Suck
inside,
it up, Buttercup.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah,
You're a
rub
pussy.
some dirt on all that.
Get back to
and
work.
Get out. Go.
Yeah, and I think it's
Who cares what
the
you saw?
wellness stuff that agencies are doing now is
They're trying.
is-
They're trying.
Yeah.
They're not there
Really
yet,
good.
but they're trying.
yeah,
Yeah,
They're
they're on the
trying.
right track.
because this job, any first responder job, will
Oh,
just
yeah.
Eat you
and
up.
spit you
That's the
out. I have
that's the
a-
best word right there. It will eat you up,
Yeah, I have
Yeah.
another
inside out.
family member who's working towards being a paramedic, and like I'm like whatever you need to tell me, just vent to me. Like I will listen
Yeah.
to anything you have to say with whatever, because
Absolutely.
that person's super young. They've got another 20 years in this
Yeah.
profession, so we got to treat those people right so they don't.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
Burnout
we
used to
we
be
need
shit.
those people out there. We were talking about it on one of their podcasts.
Yeah.
Like it's
you need it. We need those cops for
today. I mean, I did love that work and I love my job and the people. Some of the stuff you get frustrated with over time, right?
Yeah.
But I look back. I go, would I do it if I was starting right now?
no.
Would I do it now? I don't know.
I would
I'm not
say
saying no. I'm not saying no, but I'm not saying yes either.
Yeah.
Because you
say
just don't.
no.
It's there's so much involved. I'm glad I did it. I'm glad I went through it,
Cool.
and I
It gave
learned.
me a
I
great
learned
life,
a
gave my
lot.
family a good
Yeah.
life, a
And I-
comfortable life.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and I made some great friends along the
And we
way.
got to retire at what
obviously.
age? Look at me.
55.
57. I'm retired. I
Oh,
don't have
yeah.
to work.
Yeah.
Right?
I was just like him. I turned 55 and I went.
Yeah, he's younger than me,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
but still, I mean,
we're young old.
yeah, young. I'm not young old. I'm just young.
You're just Tom.
Yeah, I'm just Tom.
Tom.
Tommy Buckmaster.
Hashtag.
3 words. Hashtag boom.
That's 4.
Hashtag boom.
Well, that's 5 then. If you say hashtag boom after Tommy Buckmaster.
Well, yeah, it's 3 different.
5
Stop.
words.
Stop it.
I'm going with 5 words.
Okay.
I can name that tune. No.
What other hashtags do you have for
I
your
got all
podcast?
kinds of
He's
hashtags.
a
I just hashtag the world.
machine.
I'm a hashtag machine.
Hashtag.
It's just
FYP.
hashtag boom.
Hashtag.
Hashtag in your mouth was the
See,
first one.
Well, I remember when I remember it being called the pound sign, but whatever.
Yeah, it was just a pound.
There's no such thing as a hashtag.
Yeah.
That's some young kids.
Hashtag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some youngsters.
A
Hashtag. Yeah.
lot of words are different now, but we won't get into that.
Since you're going, so you got your trips planned. Oh, by the way, I'm going to Texas. I head out tomorrow on the motorcycle.
Sweet.
But when this
Right.
comes out, I'll be back. By the time this comes out, I'll be back home.
Yeah.
I'm going to do like 2 months in Texas.
I got 2,000 miles. I got 600 miles tomorrow, 600 miles the next day, then 800 miles into Fort Worth.
Fort
Yeah.
Worth.
We're doing like 300 miles a day. I don't want to drive much more than that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pull a trailer.
That's-
I'm not. I'm
that's
not
a lot.
Doing a
Yeah.
42-foot fifth
Yeah, I
wheel.
mean,
It's a lot of slow
500 miles is
driving.
about the most I go with my trailer normally. If anywhere from 4 to 5, that's a good day.
Yeah.
we do that. There's a
No, that'll be.
With the dually, you forget how fast you're going. Sometimes I'll be look down. Oh shit, I'm going 75, 80.
yeah.
I got to slow back down because you forget the trailer's there.
Yeah.
That's what I noticed with my dually. That I forget my fucking trailer's back there.
How much your trailer?
Yeah.
weigh?
I don't know. Same as mine's 42 foot long. I got a tool. I got a toy like 19,000 pounds. It's a
Oh,
toy.
okay.
It's a toy
Yeah.
hauler.
Yeah,
So
I'm at-
it's his is 42. Is yours the same length, 42 or?
it's 40 feet 11 inches, and then I have a cargo rack in the back to my bumper, and I bolted a truck bed toolbox on there, and I have all my
Oh,
tools.
cool.
I have all my tools back there because I
Oh.
originally had a single rear wheel, and when we bought my Ram in 2020, we were looking at a certain
Oh, okay.
trailer. And then we upgraded the trailer, and then I was right at all my weights because truck guy.
Oh.
So
Yeah.
once I
Yeah.
threw down the scale a couple times, I'm like, I am over on my rear axle weight. Like I can't.
I
do
just
this.
gotta, yeah.
I mean, I probably could have because I look around the campground. I'm like, that guy's not towing legal. That guy's not.
Yeah.
There's no way that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
You're still
I'm
focused
super
on-
nerdy. Yeah,
Oh.
I'm super researchy.
His
I'm
tags
like,
are
"Ah."
expired.
Yeah. Some shit never goes away, right?
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I hope it
So anyways,
does.
I basically traded straight across, and I got a dually like a week or two ago. So
Yeah. The
Yeah.
dualies are awesome for pulling.
yeah,
You forget.
now
I
I've
mean,
got
it's made for that. It's great.
2,500 pounds on my rear axle. I'm like, I'm good to go. So now my trailer, my gross vehicle weight is 16.8, and I'm at 16.7.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm pretty
You're
close.
right there. But,
I'm right
oh,
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That was going to be so much
There's a
fun
lot
for
of
you
that's
guys.
beer, so we'll drink a lot
Beer-
of that.
Well, sure. You'll get rid of that. Yeah. That's okay.
Yeah, beer and whiskey.
Yeah. What's wrong with that?
Yeah, because I don't know if I'm going to get good beer in other parts of the country, and
True.
I definitely know the whiskey I like is probably not going to be there either. So
Did
Oh,
you
you'll be
you're going to bring
surprised.
some extra? Oh,
You'll be surprised.
Yeah. You'll go to a liquor store.
yeah,
Well, the cool thing is you get to go to drive-through liquor stores. I mean, you probably want to drive your RV through it.
probably
but
not. No,
Leave it there.
That's the good
Go-
thing about a fifth wheel. Like you can just unhook it and you got your truck to take anywhere you want. That's
True.
why I don't like
that's why I don't have a
the
Toad. Yeah,
you know, what
Yeah.
do you call them? The big RVs.
Well, we
and then
looked
you
at one
have
of
to
those
tow the
and-
car.
You got to
behind
tow
you.
a car, but see,
Yeah.
I want to have my motorcycle, all that other
Yeah.
stuff, and
Yeah.
you know,
Does yours have room for toys like that? If you had a
No.
motorcycle, it just
I got a bunk room, so I've got
Okay.
my wife was supposed to work part time while we traveled,
Mhm.
remote, and that kind of got poo pooed. But I
Oh.
actually have a part time remote job that kind of fell in my lap, so
Oh.
I'm gonna actually
Cool.
do that. and we
make a
can
little
tour
extra on
around
the
and-
side.
Yeah, it's actually not too bad. So if it works out,
Long as
pretty
that purse check keeps coming, right?
purse check definitely comes. It ain't
It's
great,
it's
but
real
it-
nice to get that every
buy
month.
some beer and a little bit of gas. So,
Yeah, there you go.
yeah. And then
No kidding.
we use that for like our dogs. Our dogs live in there. And
Sure.
then if we have family coming.
What kind of dogs do you have?
We got 2 labs.
Oh,
Well,
well,
they're like mutts, but whatever.
mostly lab.
Here's the interesting thing is they're house dogs.
Yeah.
So they bark at everything. 'Cause
Sure.
That's what I wanted them to do.
Yeah.
Now I don't want them to bark
Yeah.
at anything.
campgrounds hate
So-
that.
Because you're right there.
I'm
Yeah.
that guy that has the obnoxious.
Oh, that's gonna
dogs in the
be-
campground. So I'm working with them every day.
They're a good alarm system.
Yeah. My
Yeah.
one dog's not too bad. My other one is special. He came from prison and he's special. I don't
came
think
from
I'm
prison.
ever gonna fix him. I think he's just a
Dog
street-
prison, probably.
I think he's
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
street dog. Yeah. He
How
came
old are
from,
the dogs?
like,
roughly?
6 years.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
Good
it's
age.
fun.
Yeah.
But that's the bane of my day. Get up, feed the dogs, walk the dogs, do some other stuff, walk the dogs, do some
Yeah,
other stuff.
he's
walk
got
the
his
dogs.
stuff.
Yeah.
I got my stuff. You got your stuff.
Yeah.
Do stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
You clean. He walks the dogs. I go gym tan laundry. Right?
Red light.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. It's going to
Green
be so
light.
much fun to do that.
Dialed in my guitar rig, so I
Yeah.
actually have a decent little guitar rig in the
Well,
trailer.
if you can get Johnny K to pull out his drum set, you guys
Yeah.
could jam together while he's at the house.
He's
I
coming
think he
next.
still has it down there with him.
He's coming. No, I think he took it back. I think he's down there now.
No, not John C. John
Oh.
K.
John K.
Oh, John K. Yeah.
I was thinking
Yeah.
John C. Who's John
Well,
K?
John K. is the Arizona
Oh, that John K.
because he mentioned him earlier in the podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Johnny C.
I didn't know he played the drums.
That's right. He's
Yeah,
actually
oh,
pretty
yeah.
good. So John,
he's
when
actually
John
pretty
K
good.
left his original band, I actually joined right after he left, and then they changed the name.
Oh,
Oh, because I think I saw him
Small
play
Town.
one time in that band. Like
Yeah.
he was doing a fill-in for him.
Yeah, I forget
And his
what
whole
they're
thing was, and when he sees this, he'll laugh. He drums backwards, facing backwards. That was one of his trademarks. He
Really?
said, yeah, he would face away from the crowd. I don't know. I don't know
why
why.
would you not want people to see who you are?
I don't know. That's what he told me.
called. I did not know
Really?
And
that.
he'll probably tell me I'm crazy, but I'm
I
confident.
would like to
he
know
told me.
why.
He faces the wall.
That's what he told me. He
Really?
said that was one of his signature things when they were
That's a
doing their
sh-
band.
I don't want people to see my face. Witness protection again.
I'm the anonymous drummer. I don't know.
Just put a bag on your face then. That'd even be better.
Oh my god,
That'd be funnier,
The
right?
unknown-
Well, the
yeah.
drummer for Striper used to face like
Sideways?
right?
Okay.
So maybe it was more like that.
Oh.
I don't know.
But no, I don't know if he has his drum kit down there or
Jesus.
not. I'm sure he does. I don't know if he got rid of it or not. I can't remember.
I think I talked to him at somebody's retirement. I think he
All right.
said he had hung it up.
Maybe it was mine because I knew they actually
Yeah.
came up.
Yeah, that's
Maybe
right.
that was
I think
because-
it was. I think he's like, I'm too busy. He's too busy doing.
Maybe he
stuff.
sold it.
Yeah.
And one of those things. It's like as you get older, people tell you stuff and then you forget. So he
Because
may
you're
or may
old.
not have sold it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm old. I forget sometimes.
It's actually kind of nice because you can use it when you want it, and you can use
Yeah,
it.
you're right at that
Oh,
age
yeah.
where like,
I said
yeah,
what? No, I didn't.
I didn't. I don't,
never
know,
said
I don't know what you're
that.
talking about.
Hey,
Was I really
Did
there?
I tell you that? Really?
I wasn't
don't
there.
remember
I wasn't
that.
there.
Prove it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Prove it. I wasn't there.
Prove
Hashtag
it.
Prove it.
Hashtag. It's not. It wasn't me.
Pound sign.
Lie till you die.
Hmm.
Hashtag.
Lie till you
Hashtag
die.
lie till you die.
Unbelievable.
That's not me though.
No.
All right.
You can't be
Anything
doing
else
that.
we got?
No. Any parting words?
No.
Check out the bands. Check them out
Yeah.
on all the platforms.
Yeah,
Millhouse.
Millhouse.
Not so much-
Millhouse.
Millhouse doesn't make me money.
No, but Millhouse
Splinter
you'll be
Throne,
playing.
I still get money for that. So
Residuals?
you stream it. Yeah,
Splintered
for,
Throne.
I get 2,000
Do it.
cent for
Is there-
everything you stream.
Is there an actual website for Splinter
There
Throne?
is, but I think we're gonna let it die off. So
Oh,
we'll be
okay.
on Facebook, and we've got like
You
8
got on
albums
Facebook.
out,
Okay. So people can find it.
Yeah, we're on.
If they
all-
know how to spell
yeah.
Splintered.
That's pretty good too.
right.
He's a
Or
rocker.
Throne.
He's the real deal, people.
I used to make
He is.
$50 every 3 months on streaming, but I don't now. So
Oh.
Oh,
stream
well.
our stuff. Go to bed, turn
Yeah.
it on, leave it on.
Leave it on all night.
leave it
Yeah.
on all night.
Dogs like to listen to it too.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
So do parrots.
It's very soothing.
Yep. Your parrot
So-
will repeat stuff.
Your parrot.
Yeah, right. Well, hey,
Yeah. Thank you so much for
thanks
being
doing-
here.
Thanks for being here. We
Yeah.
want to
Yeah.
say thanks again, Tall
Yeah.
Fur Coffee.
Tall
Tall Fur.
Thanks, Scott, for everything you guys helping us with.
Thanks,
for tuning
Robbie.
in.
Thanks, Robbie.
Thanks, Robbie.
The audio
Engineer, the great
Yep.
engineer, Robbie.
Yep.
Jason,
And,
thank you for being
Thank
here.
you. Thanks for
Yeah.
having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming in.
Yep.
Looking-
Thank
See
you guys.
everybody
Yeah.
next week. Thanks, Gerba. All right.
Bye, Gerbs.
Kill Gerba.
Kill Gerba, hashtag Kill Gerba. We'll see you guys at 2 and 2. Boom. Hashtag love you.
All right.
That's good.